Good morning, everybody. I'm back. Hold on, wait. Hold on. I found this, and I'll explain to you how I just found this recently. But I'm back. Um, so it's been a long and very busy week. Um, so this was like the technical transition from my old company to my brother. And man, nothing went wrong in the transition on my brother's side of things, but I had some major disasters on my side of things trying to get myself out of it. The biggest thing being, hold on, let me turn off my email so we don't hear that the whole time here. So Mac, like everybody talks about how, like, well, not everybody. All right, so the Mac Apple fanboys um, talk about how Apple's the greatest product in the world, never has any problems and whatever, and that is such crap. Crap. There's nothing out there that's perfect, right? I mean, there's all just everything has its own set of problems, and so I've been trying to move my email into the cloud. So we hosted our own email for the past 15 years on site with our own email server, and now that we have so many fewer email addresses in house for us, I just figured now's a good time to move to the cloud, and we also don't have to have like this whole rack of servers that we used to have. So I am moving everything to the cloud, and I can't get my calendar to synchronize with my MacBook. So I'm reading about it, and I'm trying all these things to fix it. And I one of the things they say is that what helped a couple of people was upgrading to the newest edition of the Mac OS. And so I never did it because I didn't want to worry about the upgrade and making things compatible and all that good stuff. So I what was it? I guess it was Tuesday night or Monday night, I can't remember. Said, okay, I'm going to bite the bullet. I need a calendar working, right? And I'm going to have to do this update. And everybody says it's relatively problem free. Well, I did the update and my MacBook never started again. And of course, in part of this move, I didn't do a good backup. My last backup was from a couple of weeks ago. But even then, what I was reading was that the potential problem with this whole thing is that when I do restore the backup, it would still bring with it the problem that caused this to go wrong anyway. So, I'm up until like 1 in the morning trying to figure out if there's any way to get my Mac to boot again, and I didn't. I couldn't find it, so I had to reinstall the entire operating system from scratch and have gone through this week trying to reinstall all of my software, getting my accounts set up, and yeah, uh, crazy. And like trying to remember all the passwords that were saved in websites and whatever. Like Google remembered most of them, but some of them it didn't. And yeah, crazy week. So from a how I handled it point of view personally, I was on overload. On overload, absolutely. We had other things already planned. It was a busy week already to start, and throw this in, and I'm running around with my hair on fire. And overall, I would say exhausting. I think by yesterday, when most of it was cleared up, by yesterday, I was so tired. I cut out and went grocery shopping at like 2 in the afternoon, which is progress for me because grocery shopping would have actually drained me even more. But like I threw in my earbuds and I walk around listening to podcasts and just kind of casually go about my grocery shopping. It's really not that bad anymore. It's all about perspective. And got home and the boys came home from school and they got to play. Like my one kid's all back into Fortnite again, so he's playing on his PlayStation. The other one played on his iPad. We had tacos for dinner last night, and just went about it casually. And my kid even got me to play Fortnite with him a little bit, but I stink. I can't survive. I'm like, okay, just shoot me. I'm just so not. I haven't been into video games in a long time. It's so hard. The learning curve is so steep anymore. Madden used to be like Madden football. It used to be press a button and it throws it downfield and the guy catches it and you get a touchdown and the scores would be like 88 to whatever. Now it's like super realistic and there's a million things you have to do to press the button to catch the ball or defend and whatever. I can't keep up. I can't keep up. These kids these days. I'm so old. But overall, from a discipline point of view, I actually did pretty well. Did all my disciplines every day. With the exception here and there, maybe I missed one. But I ate well. I exercised every day. Yesterday was the only day I took off just because our schedule was so packed and I felt like I had neglected so many things. Um, and Yesterday was actually kind of a meeting day for us. It was our Friday. We met with our UPS guy just to make sure we're getting the best pricing we can for our shipping, which apparently we are, which kind of sucks because it's a lot. But we also met with a printer, and they came up with some cool ideas for new covers, and I think you guys are gonna like them. In fact, I wanted him to leave me the mock-ups, and he was gonna send me the digital print, or the digital mock-up, and I didn't get them. So I have to see if Luann has them. But we have actually five options we're talking about, and we might do all five in like a very limited run. We have a pink camo, we have a green camo that my wife loved. We have like a viney, like pink cover with like cream colored vines all over, or lattice, I think is what they called it. But then we're also going to reverse it and do a cream color cover with the pink lattice. What else did we do? What else was there? There was one that was really cool, and this would be the fifth one. It's a like a mock leather texture, so it's brown with like a leather design on it. My wife, again, loved that one. I might actually use that one too, but we'll see. I don't know if there's a broad audience for that, so we'll have to see. So what we're going to do is order different quantities of all of them. I think the pink camo will have quite a bit, but we'll see how fast they go. And then we'll kind of judging based on how they sell, if we're going to continue to carry any of them going forward. Overall, I'm pretty excited about it. Oh, you like the leather too? That's so. All right, so maybe there's more of a yeah. So it's not real leather, like it's not a leather cover. It's just printed so that it looks like leather. We're looking at like leather covers and things, and trying to find a vendor for that's really hard right now. Hi, Anita. Good to see you too. But so yeah, the leather, it looked good. I just didn't know if people would buy like a print of leather. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So those are going to take a while to get up and running. I mean, they take from the time we order them, it takes like a month to get them printed, bound, and back over to us. So we still have to get the pricing quotes and go back and forth on all of it, I'm sure. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be pretty cool. Way to go playing Fortnite with the kiddo. Oh my goodness. Here. Hey, look, check this out. I can add this to the broadcast. Yeah. um you know what, I stink at it. I stink, especially like when it's like when somebody starts coming at me and they're shooting me or trying to build around me. Like I can't. I like spaz out. Like my character from like the third person point of view, probably my character's probably like spinning around looking like he has no idea what he's doing. I can't. My brain doesn't work for games like that anymore. Um, so yeah, that's a crazy thing. But I'm excited for these new covers. Oh, I almost forgot. So we just have this one now, an orange sticky notebook. We got all the colors back in last week, so all these are restocked, and we added orange. And then we're going to try something new. I saw this book, and you guys have probably seen me talk about this. I saw this at Target last week. We ordered a couple of these too. It's it prompts you every day to have a thought. So we ordered maybe like 35 of them. We figured we'd put them on the website and see if anybody likes them. I think it's pretty cool. I haven't used it yet because I didn't want to dirty this one up, but I thought it was a pretty cool mindfulness journal. So yeah, cool. We're all doing like we're doing a lot. It's just like Anytime, and this is the way life works, right? Anytime we plan on like moving forward a lot, like anytime we plan anything, life says, I got other ideas. So, it's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. And so, the time when I can least afford to have MacBook problems, I have MacBook problems, and it's just like it just destroyed my week. Um, but we did okay. We did okay. We're doing okay. Um, I also met with a guy on Thursday who owns a franchise, a local sales training franchise. It's the same sales training franchise that I went to years ago when I was using it for my business. And they have a very cool concept. And I always respected this guy because man, every time he came to class and was teaching, I knew we were going to learn something. And so I sat with him to see if there's like any way that we could adapt, a journal for a sales process to help salespeople better plan out their days and do their basic fundamental habits through the day. And it was a good meeting. It's very preliminary. This thing's probably a while down the road, but he had just purchased the franchise from the old owner and was only a month into it now. And it was interesting. Like you see, years ago I put this guy on such a pedestal, and now I see this guy. I mean, he's just anybody else. He's just the same as any of us. Very successful, but he's got, as the owner of the business, employees now that he has to keep happy. He has to steer the ship in the direction that he wants to go, deal with, all the different personalities and all the struggles of owning a business. And it's funny because I could not have related to this person 5 years ago in any meaningful way. But sitting across from him this time, man, I really felt for him. Like, it's not that I felt bad, but like I just empathized with like all of the things that are probably going through his head about, which way he's got to go and how he's got to make this work. And, I mean, with anything, no matter how successful somebody is, especially when you go into business ownership, your whole family and future is riding on it, and it's nuts. So I sent him, like, I woke up the next morning because there were a couple of things he was talking about, some struggles he was, anticipating. And I was like 3:30 in the morning, Friday morning. I'm laying there and I'm thinking about some of these things that we talked about. And I shot him an email. I'm like, if there's anybody that can do this, it's absolutely you. Like, I was so happy to see that you did this. And, I sent him this email, and it was like 3 or 4 paragraphs. And like, I sent it and I'm like, oh God, was that too much? And then he didn't respond the entire day. And I'm like, oh man, it was too much. It was too much. And then at the end of the day, I got a little message from him. Hey, what did he say? He's like noodling on it all day or something, right? And he says, I really appreciate this. Not sure I deserve all this praise, but I also, have some ideas for what we talked about. And, nice, quick, but like a appreciative response. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, it was all right. But I was so, like, as the day wore on and he never even said, hey, thanks. Like, I was like, so like, oh man, I put too much out there, but it ended up being all right. So, we're good. We're good. But, and that's what I've seen through life, is that no matter what you're going through, anybody you see as being more successful than you, or better developed, or having their stuff together, whatever it is, that person is going through the same doubts and fears that you are. And it's an amazing experience. It's the first time I really noticed it was when I was a member of a country club. And I mean, you literally have guys walking around, women walking around making millions of dollars. And they just look like they have it all together, from the way they dress to the cars they drive to the houses they have. And then you catch these people on a Friday night or a Wednesday night having a beer at the bar, and their problems are exactly the same. They might be on a different scale, but at the very core of it, their internal struggles are all the same. It's just the difference. There's just a slight difference in how they handle it. It's how they, persevere no matter what. And I'm not talking about like there. Believe me, there were plenty of like narcissistic um, AHs there that I wouldn't care what they were going through, right? Like, I mean, there's people, I mean, there's people attribute it to rich in general, but I don't think that, I think there's a lot of good people that have money, right? There's a lot of good people that don't have money, but I'm specifically talking about those like respectable business people uh, that like they're going through stuff, and it's just about how they continue to go forward and learn from their struggles and create they create an environment for themselves to succeed. And sometimes they fail, but they always keep going, and they use their time wisely. Some of them work hard and party hard, but that in that work hard, party hard mentality is a lot of hard work. Um, and I think that while might be damaging long term, I think that that the balance that work hard like gets them so far ahead that they can afford to take a break and go the other direction for a minute. I think a lot of the times the people that aren't successful, aside from not doing all of the other stuff we just talked about, but they also like they kind of just do the minimum work and then party hard. Or if they're not partying hard, they're relaxing hard, or shirking responsibilities hard. And we need to shift that over a little bit and make more progress in the times we can make progress. And that's really kind of what the whole define my day thing was for me. I was I was on this all along the spectrum, right? I was doing the bare minimum and wasting a lot of time to swinging the other direction and working hard and partying hard. And what I needed to do was find myself some balance, which is why, this process was working. But, things still go haywire. This week, things went haywire for me in an extreme way. And for me, my learning experience is like I did what I needed to do the bare minimum to keep myself healthy, which is my daily disciplines. Sure, I had to let go of a lot of things, including even live videos, but I did the work that I needed to do to maintain the business and to maintain my family and, still, bring the maximum energy and effort I could to certain situations, whether it was a meeting, the couple of meetings we had this week or whatever. Um, it's just, I wasn't at 100% capacity, and going in the direction that I wanted to go. But I also am in a place where now I can regroup and launch into this next week with a good mindset without like being, so far back that it's damaged my progress. So it's, it's all, it's all like a dance, right? We're just trying to step back and move forward. Um, let's see, what are you guys saying here? Janice says, good morning. Love these ideas. Great to see me on. Thank you. I appreciate it. So we are going to be doing the daily. So I'll be doing one tomorrow. And in fact, I want your feedback. I want you guys throw me some comments about what you want to talk about tomorrow morning because I have not been able to plan it. So what do you want to talk about tomorrow morning? What can I help you with tomorrow morning in our Sunday morning call? I'll probably try to do that at about 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, but you can always come back and watch it later, and we'll post it up on the podcast and on YouTube later on also. So yeah, let me know, and I'll try to put something together for you that's valuable, so it's worth your time in watching. Faith says, I had computer issues every time I need to do major computer work. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that the way it goes? Like I didn't want to I didn't want to have to reinstall my operating system to get stuff on my calendar, but having a calendar is crucial to doing work, right? So it was crazy, crazy. And it's funny is that I have a customer that has been, his office is all Windows, but he has one like contractor or associate that works outside of the office that works on a Mac. And between this guy who's always praising Macs and the other people he knows that are always like Mac, 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 and this guy has an iPhone and he has an iPad. So I've been telling him as his IT person, Macs are nice. I have one. I've had one for 2 years. I love it. Maybe even more than 2 years now. But for what you're doing, your office just needs to run efficiently. Everything works right now on the computers you have, and you just need to, let that work out. Like you don't want to start transitioning to Macs. So I've been holding him off for a couple of years, but he needs a new laptop. This happened like right before Christmas, and I said, here, look, I recommend this one. And he said, we started talking about the Macs again. And, I said, look, the MacBook Air, the new one is out. It's like $200 off at Best Buy, check it out, whatever. So he ended up getting a MacBook Air. And I got an email from him, I think it was last week. And the subject was MacBook. And in the body, all it said was, I hate this thing. So I'm like, man, I know. But it's funny, like, it's hard, and and it's that way with this too, like with the define my day process, and helping anybody with anything, like helping anybody be more productive or fix whatever problem they're going through. Like it's even if you know what's right for somebody, it's so hard to tell them. It's almost like you have to watch them run into a wall and walk away bloodied for them to actually learn it. Like so, I do it too. But why do we have people we trust? We have people that we want to emulate their success. Why do we have to learn for ourselves every time? Like me, I give myself the excuse with the Miracle Morning. Like I just wasn't fully aware of what the Miracle Morning was, so I didn't read it, and then so I bloodied myself for 3 years trying to figure out my morning routine. And we have I have people in mind where I'm like, stop doing that or start doing this, and you would immediately notice a positive difference. But people like just need to like keep doing their own thing and learn for themselves, and you just hope they kind of figure it out. I think psychotherapy is a lot like that. Like I feel like a psychologist, they don't really recommend what to do for you. They just kind of listen to you and hope they can guide you to have your own thought. But I'm thinking, man, it's going to take years. It's going to take years. That's why like people need coaching. People need like, no, that's wrong. Like, like even as an adult, like if I would have somebody walking around with a ruler and like every time I go to grab a bad piece of food and slap me over the knuckles with a ruler, I'd be like, no, like I'd be like, yeah, okay, fine. And I would be so much healthier for it. But maybe I wouldn't enjoy life as much. I don't know. I guess it's got to be within like, you don't want to be controlled, but I guess it's got to be within like a certain boundary. But I do think there's a need for coaches, like somebody to say, like, stop doing that. Like literally, like if you want things to change, you're going to stop doing that. You're going to stop eating that way. You're going to stop waking up late. You're going to stop, binge eating. You're going to stop answering your phone nonstop and just focus on what you need to focus on. You're going to start writing down the things that you want to do today, and then you're going to do them. You're going to evaluate your purpose every day. You're going to, read a half an hour every day instead of sitting on TikTok for an hour and a half. Like just, we need coaching. And it's funny because you go through this, and thinking about the years I spent in therapy with people over the years. And I think that was my frustration with all of it. Like, I don't want to figure it out myself. There's certain things I don't want to figure out myself. I just want to know the answer so I can go do it. Right? If I'm being a jerk, tell me I'm being a jerk. But don't let me try to figure it out for the next 5 years and ruin relationships in my life and everything else. So it's just, I don't know. I don't even know. I had no plan on talking about this, but it's the way we go here. Sometimes, wait, I got a sound effect. Sometimes it is a circus. Oh my goodness, I am killing myself today. So speaking of today, what am I going to do today? I've been working on the website today, trying to update the website a little bit. My boy's in there screaming about his Fortnite, and I need to get them exercising. So we're going to work out at 11 o'clock this morning. in the basement. I'm not going to go to the gym. We're going to go to the basement. I want to have the two boys down there. And then the Penguins play at 1 o'clock. I'm going to see if we get it. We don't have live TV here, so we don't get a lot of the Penguin games because we don't get the local sports station. But if it's on NBC, we can watch it. Otherwise, I got to go and sit at a restaurant and watch it, which I might do. I just don't want to drink today. Although it's National Margarita Day. So how can you not have a drink today? I mean, unless you really don't like margaritas, and then what's wrong with you? But we did tacos last night, so apparently tonight maybe I will make virgin margaritas for my boys. I'll have a margarita, and we'll eat pizza. I told them we'd make pizza tonight, so we're gonna have pizza and margaritas. Although at breakfast, I was sitting down having eggs and sausage with my boy today, my youngest one, and I said, "Hey, we're gonna do pizza tonight. Is that okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, Dad." He said, "But I want a salad because I want to be healthy like you." I'm like, "Oh man, that's awesome." Last night we had tacos, and I took a little bit of the taco meat and made a taco salad, and so it's rubbing off. It's rubbing off. They want to work out now that they see me going every day to the gym. They want to eat healthy, especially our 6-year-old. Ryan is saying every day, "Dad, I want to be healthy. Dad, I want to be healthy." He told me like after breakfast, after he had his egg and 2 pieces of sausage, he asked what healthy he could have. So he grabbed an apple and went and sat on the couch. I mean, they are very conscious of healthy eating right now. Not that they don't eat bad food, like we eat popcorn, they have chips. They're just very conscious, and I love it. They're very conscious of balancing it out, you know. So they get like, "Dad, can I have 5 Hershey Kisses?" "Yeah, sure, go ahead." And then they'll balance it out with something healthy. It's pretty cool. It's funny because I didn't grow up that way, and you can like my wife and I, neither one of us grew up that way. We I don't think I just wasn't like, we didn't have good habits in my house, and seeing that, like, I don't even have to like nail it into them right now. It's just that when you model it, it just kind of like, and you talk about it every day, it just kind of sinks in, and that's pretty cool. It's probably the best example that I've ever seen for myself. I don't think I did it very well in my company. Like I probably should have. And they say that as a good manager or a good boss, you just say the same thing over and over again, and it just sinks in. And I, I don't think I did a good job of that in the past. And so now, even seeing it here in this little example, I can see how it works in that way, especially in young, impressionable kids, right? Um, Good to see you. Whoever said this, I can't see who it is, but good to see you this morning. Look, it doesn't even show you. It just says, "Good to see you." Thank you. I don't know who you are who said that, but thank you. Um, so Sheila says the leather cover, the leather printed cover might just compel me to start keeping 2 different planners, leather for professional and colored for personal, which is something I've been thinking about doing, separation of church and state. Yeah, that's interesting. I personally, I like keeping both work and personal in my journal. But I could see that if somebody wanted to separate them out, why you would want to do that. Oh, one of the cool things we talked about with this printer is that we want to do a storage box for a year's worth of planners. So it would perfectly fit 13 planners, and it would, like, the way we're talking about it is like there would be a stack, like one stack of 6 and one stack of 7, and then maybe like a little storage thing at the top, like just a little gap for storage, whether it's pens or maybe even some printed material, maybe even like a getting started book. I don't know. But we could sell it, like when we do a define my year package, we would sell it all in this box. Or we would just sort of maybe even sell the box as an option on the website so that people can purchase it once they have a place to store their Define My Day journals from the past. So that we thought that was really cool. So we're trying to figure out what the design on the box would look like. But even I have books laying everywhere. Like I have a stack of them over here on a bookshelf. I have some of them in my drawer here. I'm running out of places to put them, and I would like a nice place so I can put them up on the shelf in my closet. So yeah, so we're gonna be doing that too. Um, hey, Lori, jumping in late. That's okay. Uh, So yes, so she loves my hat, right? And I that's really kind of where I'm at. Like I did a little retail therapy. I would say Wednesday, I guess it was, and so I ordered stuff online at Dick's, and there was one T-shirt, workout shirt that was only available for pickup at Dick's. So I went to the store and I'm walking around looking for anything else that I might like, and I saw this hat, and it's a little tall for me here. My wife was like, I don't know, and but it's like it's just been my theme, like every day, every waking moment this week was just do it. I don't think there's a better saying out there right now. I every time I'm sitting at my desk and I'm looking at this, I'm like, just do it. Just do it. You just have to do it. And so that was kind of like everything. And even some of these meetings, like the meeting I had on Thursday, like I was not feeling the energy to go to this meeting. And I'm just like, you just got to do it. And I put on a motivational podcast, and I just drove to this meeting, and I was like, by the time I got out of the car, I was okay. But it's like you got to get in that mindset, put yourself in that frame of mind, and get out there and just do it. Hey Kim, nice to see you too. Um, so Sheila, going back to our maintaining. So Sheila says, that's the struggle maintaining, so I do not lose progress or have to backtrack when life is throwing curveballs, and that's a big deal. I mean, that's for everybody. We can't lose all of the hard work, and that's sort of what I kept having in mind this week. I can't let myself backslide too far here. So I was always trying to be aware of that. Although even not doing these videos made it really hard to do the first video, right? Like getting on today, I was like, what do I say? I didn't have like that momentum, so it was just a hard thing to just press. And that's all I did was just talk about just do it. That's all I did. I just press play or go live, whatever the button is, and said, let's just go. Let's go. And whatever happens, happens. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate everybody that's on here. And you're right. I mean, that's something we have to be aware of is even when we're having tough times or even going on vacation, like we can't allow ourselves to be pushed backward too far or fall too far out of what we've done for ourselves to reach this next level we are at. So I try to keep that in mind. Is like I still have to get up today and meditate. Like I don't want to, I don't have time to, but I'm still going to do it. The only thing that I feel like I kind of let myself get away with it was not going to the gym yesterday. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because we had a lot of work to do here. And I felt like I was sort of bailing out on everybody else if I would have left to go to the gym. And I'm just going to have to, like that's just my day off. And now I'm not going to take off for the next 7 days. And that's it. So Kim says it's like that with your kid running into the wall. Can say hot, hot, hot all you want until they stick their finger in the hot tea. They don't know. Yeah, you're right. And that's going to be hard for me getting older. Like, yeah, I know watching my kids grow up, I'm gonna say to myself, like, I know they shouldn't be doing this. I can tell them, you should not be doing this. Like, don't make that mistake. And they're gonna make that mistake, and I'm gonna go, oh, I wish I could have spared them that pain. But that sparing kids pain does not make them into good adults, and I know that. Doesn't make it any easier. Lori likes a storage box idea. Yeah, I think it's gonna work. We got to come up with a good design. I don't want it to be like I don't want it to be like crazy expensive. Like I want it to be able to. I don't want to have to raise the price of the Define My Year package, and I also want to make it affordable so somebody can purchase it. Um, so that if they didn't buy all of the books at once, they can purchase it, and it won't be like something that's. I don't want to dissuade them from getting it. And we might even work it out if we can do something where, like, once somebody reaches the threshold where they have purchased 13, we send them a free box or something. Like, I don't know how we can work that or track it so that the order is automatically created, but we'll have to look into it. So I'd like it to be something that people you get and use, as almost like kind of a reward, like, oh, you've done 13, here you go. So we're trying to figure that all out. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to work it. It's complicated. This e-commerce stuff is more complicated than you might think. Just even trying to put the bundles together, the bundle software is ridiculous. The ones that work well on the website work terrible on the back end, and like on the inventory side of things. So it's crazy. It's way too, like, so much more than I ever anticipated working on. Thank gosh I have Luann right now, because she's handling a lot of that stuff that I would never have time to do. Kim, oh yeah, you're going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Um, so Kim says the Mel Robbins, just do it. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. And that for a while, getting out of bed was where I used that a lot in the very beginning. Um, the motivational podcast, the one I am on right now, is the Secret to Success podcast. It's Eric. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. It's like 3 or 4 guys, and they're just kind of batting things around. But like, this guy is really motivational, and they make sense. Like, they put things plainly. They've all been like, none of them were born into money. I mean, the I think the one guy there was born into a middle class family, but Eric himself was at one point homeless. And it's they're very big on personal responsibility, very big on putting in the work, and being well rounded. And I think they're pretty good. I personally think it's the best podcast out there right now. When I need to get motivated, or when I need to get my head straight, I put them on and walk around the house. I listen to it at the gym. It's very good. I listen to a lot of educational podcasts, like like marketing, or social media marketing, stuff like that. So I don't know that would be too interesting for you, but as far as like growth, and motivation, Secret to Success podcast. Lewis Howes is somebody that I've actually getting more into lately. So I've been listening to Lewis Howes' School of Greatness. Yeah, so Kim, we are working on that, a list of like books that we listen to, podcasts that we recommend. We are working on that. It's one of the things on my list for the website right now. So we're trying to, our mission for this first quarter has been to better develop resources for you. Whether it's these videos, the podcast itself that we do, adding more content to the website, more articles, more emails every week. And like, even like the one I did last week about the tools that I use, like I just threw out like, here's all the tools that I've been using right now. So we're gonna do more of that and segment it out. These are the podcasts we listen to. These are the books that I've been reading. These are the top 5 or 10 books that I've read all time. And we're gonna do all of that. The struggle I have with the book ones is that every time I start writing about a book, like I can't leave it to 1 or 2 sentences. Like I want to make it an entire book review, and then it turns into an article about one particular book. So restraining myself has been a challenge in that regard. Helen, it's hard to recover sometimes from those curveballs. Yes. I'm still kind of in a hangover right now. Um, when that happens, the rest of the day is toast. Yep. The plan goes out the window. So much wasted time figuring out how to get back on track. Helen, for me, I visualize it as like trying to pull up from a nosedive, right? I'm just trying to pull up before I hit the ground. And then like I can like kind of skip along the ground a little bit, and I just have to like maintain, right? Just try to like build up some positive momentum, and then like get up off the ground again. It's hard. It's hard. And a lot of times I just have to go to sleep. But I think what helps me the most is self-education. I maintain my habits. Like I've defined what a healthy habit for me is. I operate best when I follow these habits, whether it's the supplements I take, the exercise, the water, reading, the things, eating well. Those are the things that I need to do every day. And then I find, and I can't always do this because I almost feel like I'm not spending my time wisely, but I find that when I spend more time reading something appropriate for the time, like right now I'm still reading Brene Brown's Dare to Lead book. Um, if I the more I read, the more I educate myself, the more I feel better about myself when I do that. And then I feel more prepared to step out into the world and do what I need to do. So I would say that the number one discipline that has helped me get out of a funk is to get feedback from other people in the form, it's not quite feedback, but get experience or education from other people in the form of a very good podcast or a good book. And that for me, I feel just better prepared to address whatever I need to address. But a lot of times you just need to go to bed. I mean, like for me, at the end of the day, like if I go to bed, like my mindset can switch for the next morning. um Faith says you got rid of your books in the last year, as you've moved twice, about to hit a year doing Define My Day. Yeah. I know some people get rid of them. Some people throw them away as if like, that's done and gone. Me personally, I want to look back and see the progress I made. I made reference a couple of months ago about finding the old Define My Day worksheets that I was doing years ago. And seeing how far I've come from them, that really helps me to see my progress. And so I like to keep mine. I don't like to throw them away, but people do. It's okay. It doesn't mean you can't start keeping them now. But that's pretty cool. You're hitting a year. That's great. It's awesome to see people that have hit that far. In fact, we were going through our customer list, trying to look and see who's been doing it consistently over the past couple of years, and there's more than we thought. Like because there's the people we see every day in the group, right? And we know they're doing the process and they're going through it. But then there's the people that are just kind of quietly going about their business, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And Faith says she's listening to Manager Tools right now. I'll have to look at that. Manager Tools. I'm also looking, like, as I'm reading that, I'm looking at why I can't put some posts on the broadcast, but I can put other ones like this. Like, it doesn't even give me the option. I have no idea. Lynette says, balance is your biggest challenge. Getting pulled into work and not remembering to have fun and play. How do you do this? I almost feel guilty having fun. Yeah. So, okay, this is kind of crazy, but sometimes I schedule it. And I'll tell you, like right now, so I have what I've been doing since I woke up. I've sort of scheduled my Saturday, and I have like 11 a.m. exercise with the boys, and then we're going to eat lunch. And then I have scheduled for 1 o'clock, watch the Penguins game. And that doesn't mean that I'm not going to enjoy it, but it's kind of a prompt to like it shows me my day and all of the things, all the work that I still need to do today. It shows me my day. And, when 1 o'clock comes around, it's almost giving me permission to take off and have fun and enjoy that time. And I'm going to continue to time block out the day for after the Penguins game too. Like, dinner will be roughly like 6 or 6:30. Maybe I'll put in like movie time with the boys. So I know like some people look at that and go, oh, that's kind of ridiculous. You schedule in like stuff like that, but it's really not, especially if you're in the habit of overworking. Even on a work day, you can schedule in like 15-minute walk or like even a prompt, an alarm, like lighten up or whatever, like there's so many times like things get so heavy, and it doesn't need to be. And if you have a positive influence, like that's sort of what this Secret to Success podcast has done for me, is it's kind of like let me lighten up a little bit about the way I approach even my work day. But if you can find somebody positive in your life, either whether through the YouTube or a podcast, someplace where somebody is like doing what you do but having fun with it, it kind of switches your perspective a little bit, because you can do all of this stuff. Like I can talk to you guys about habits and perseverance and reaching your goals, and we can make it such a boring, plodding discussion, right? Or we can have fun with it, right? And we can joke around and be goofy. And I'm still working on my technique there. Believe me, I would love for these videos to be as entertaining as heck for you. And we'll get there. I'm just kind of feeling out the right process for it. But that what you're talking about right there is kind of that's exactly what I'm going through. And that like sometimes we just have to like look at it from a different perspective. We just have to kind of lighten up a little bit, realize the work still needs to get done, but lighten up a little bit and have fun with it. We got to be here anyway. Might as well enjoy it, right? So, I'm going through that struggle. I really feel you there. You almost feel guilty about having fun, and I think that concept of like, why do we deserve to have fun? Well, of course we do. Like we have one life, right? We're here one time, and when you're healthy enough to enjoy it, enjoy it, because when you're not, it's too late. And so, that's why I want to do work that I enjoy, even when it's hard, even when I have a miserable week the way I've had. I still wouldn't trade it for anything. Hold on one second. What's up, buddy?
Look how I've done. I made a little cave for my moose.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Yeah. All right. Can you close my door for me?
Yes, sir.
So he's playing, that looked like Roblox or something, and apparently he has a moose, and he made a cave for it. Oh, man. Anyway. So yeah, have fun with it. And so, okay, so that right there, I prompt everybody. I'm going into my office, please don't yell, scream, break anything, let me go for a half an hour, whatever that might be. And I can say that like in the past, like even that I would not have had any kind of fun with, but it's a switch in perspective, a little switch in perspective, understanding, it's, there's little things. I think when you work in a house where your kids frequently are around while you're working, you kind of learn to start letting things go. Otherwise it's just a miserable thing. Yeah, I know. Wasn't that seems appropriate, didn't it? Here, in case anybody didn't see it, but like, yeah, what it's like to be a child. Yeah, I feel like that like that was almost like a lesson from the universe right there, right? Like there's like, God, that was great timing. Um, Sheila says live stream of the game that may be easily accessible on AirPlay if your TV is not on NBC. So it is on NBC, so that's great. So we have Hulu Live, which after you spend $45 on Hulu Live, you might as well just pay for live TV. We let's say our internet connection is, we have a business account because of the servers we have here. Now that we're getting rid of that, we can go back to a residential account and it'll be less expensive. And we may get live TV. The problem is this: I got rid of live TV because we were watching too much. So the easiest thing to do was to get rid of the temptation. Now we do Netflix, Hulu, and all that stuff, right? But wanting to watch football, we signed up for Hulu Live and we've kept it. And we don't really watch live TV anymore, so we could probably cut it off. Although now I'm trying to get my boys into watching the hockey games. So, but we do get NBC on Hulu. So Sheila, if you're saying that that's on NBC, then I'm golden and I can watch the game today. Cool. All right. Yeah, we're good to go. I think I've been on for almost an hour, guys. I wasn't planning. I figured this would be like a quick, hey, sorry I've been gone. I'll see you guys later. But I appreciate you guys all being on. I mean, at one point I saw a dozen people on here, and for me just jumping on randomly on a Saturday morning, and for 12 of you guys to hang out with me, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Oh, you don't think it's on NBC? Oh, I'll look. I'll double check. I'll look when I get off, and I'll see what's going on. If it's not, then I'll go sit at a bar and maybe have a beer. One beer that it's going to take me 3 hours to drink because I don't want to ruin my evening. All right, cool. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you joining me today. I will be here tomorrow. Please leave me in the comments or comment in the user group what you would like to talk about tomorrow. If you have any questions, I mean, we can go deep on a single topic, or I can just answer a bunch of questions that you have. But I'll probably try to. I'm going to try to be on. I'll schedule it as soon as I can once I figure out what tomorrow's going to look like. Probably be on at about 11 o'clock Eastern tomorrow morning in the user group, and we will talk about whatever you want to talk about. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you all tomorrow morning.